Hello, everybody. This is Carmelo and Sasha from Arcanum Ventures back with another 10-minute investor eye test. This week, we're looking at Massa Network, the first and only layer one blockchain that tackles the trilemma of scalability, decentralization, and security without compromise. Sasha, I'm not sure how they're going to pull that one off, but do you know anything about Massa Network?
I don't know a whole lot about Massa Network, honestly, but I mean it's a bold statement. So I guess we're gonna find out like if they can pull that off. There's a lot of blockchains that have been trying to tackle that problem for a long time, and usually what they end up doing is sacrificing security and decentralization. So I guess we'll see like how viable it is. But before we do, I guess we'll go ahead and start the clock and dive right in. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, 10 minutes. Oh, and again, guys, the goal remains the same. Massa is launching a token or a coin. We're going to take 10 quick minutes to figure out if this is something that we might invest in, and then we'll give our verdicts at the end. So make sure you stick around till the end. And 10 minutes on the clock starting now. Okay, we've got crypto rank up here for Massa Network. And I guess as you can see, oh, there we go. That's it. The decentralized and scale blockchain. I guess that's all they're calling it. But they got some backers.
Yeah,
None that I recognize.
I recognize a few of them, but I want to preface by saying that we obviously, as you mentioned, we don't have enough time to dive into the actual tech, which is unfortunate. But you don't really need to do this in an eye test. There are too many blockchains launching, and you and I have covered quite a few of them. So you have to stick out from the rest, and that means having a really impressive cap table, really good launchpad partners, obviously a massive ecosystem onboarded of people that actually want to build projects and protocols and apps on your blockchain, because you're nothing without a huge robust ecosystem. So those are the things I think we should be looking for in this one. At least we're not technical gurus, so we're not going to be able to determine if they can actually solve the trilemma, but my gut says nobody can just solve the trilemma.
We'll see. I think it's a good point. We got to check out like traction and launch and what like what else relates to the idea of if we would invest in it. And so right off the bat, I'm seeing maybe a bit of a red flag. They've got an IDO on DAO Maker at 12 cents a token, and check that out, 30% unlock at TGE. And then they've got private sale rounds, many more tokens sold in the private round at a much, much lower valuation, and also 30% unlock at TGE. This might be user provision data and information, but if that's true, I feel bad for anyone buying this in the IDO or after it launches. That's crazy. These guys are going to make like 2-3x from day zero.
Yeah. And that's a good point. One thing to keep in mind when you're doing any due diligence for the people out there, you can't trust everything you see, because I know a lot of these websites like L2Beat or DeFi Llama or Crypto Rank, they're not always current with accurate information. So you have to double or triple check other websites, maybe even check with a team if you're in conversations with them. So I think they did a round with Republic like a few months ago. Oh, yeah, that's right there. So
There
yeah,
it
they
is.
have
Yeah.
like vastly different terms and structures, and I know a lot of companies are pivoting and adding rounds. So now it's more important than ever to do your diligence and check to see what the actual rounds are looking like, the valuations, who else is giving money.
Absolutely. And but one thing's for certain, I guess at this IDO price, we're looking at an FTV of 120 million. That's not too crazy for like a layer one blockchain.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah, I guess let's dive into the website and see what we got. Okay. So we've got the massa.net site, scalability with uncompromising security. Bold claim. Carmelo, what do you see so far?
I feel bad for saying it, but very boring website. I think these metrics on the bottom, it really feels like every layer one blockchain or even layer two, they just follow the same. Uh, they follow the same standard or template for creating a website. So obviously, going to mention how many nodes you have, transactions per second. Uh, I don't know if any network is actually pulling 10,000 transactions per second reliably and consistently. So even this seems a little bit like a glamour metric. Uh, so yeah, I don't know. My main focus, like I said, would be what traction do they have? Have they onboarded any impressive builders in their ecosystem? Because I remember when Sui and Say and Aptos launched, and I think we did videos on a few of those. They already had a lot of traction. People looking to build the first DEX, the first launchpad, first DeFi platform, the first games. You want to look to see if anybody's building games or even NFT collections, because as you and I know, NFTs and memes are usually the first use case for any new blockchain. People rush in to see if they could create a new robust meme ecosystem there. So I haven't heard anything about Massa doing anything. I don't know anybody building on it, so maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see so much information on that right now.
Yeah, so far, I mean, they got some backers. Again, these are, a list of financial backers potentially they had on Crypto Rank. Act fast, call to action to buy your mass now. They've got press coverage, decentralized web, and then ecosystem. Let's check it out.
I would say too, it always feels at least like an orange, maybe a red flag if you see too pushy and buy the token now without adequately explaining what it does. So if I
Yeah.
see buy this before explaining to me what it does, I see bad sales funnel and I see bad marketing and I see unprepared.
Um, One, two. Okay, so they got some stuff on their
Okay.
network. Not a whole lot, honestly. And I guess it must be testnet still, but they've got a wallet provider, a DeFi solution. It looks like a Dex, Dusa, a few NFT companies.
I've seen
Um,
Agora before, and
yeah,
Dusa, I think, is actually created by the same team. I did see somewhere, I guess this is cheating a little bit, but I think if you invest in Masa, you're also required to invest in Dusa as well. So maybe those are
interesting.
two sides of the same token, so to say. And it makes sense. A DEX is the anchor point for an entire blockchain ecosystem. You need a DEX to create a functioning ecosystem where people can transact different tokens that are created there.
Hmm. And they got like one project that kind of overlaps, Joiler between NFTs and socials. They've got a few between NFTs, so it's actually less companies or less projects building on this than what they might lead on to believe. But looks like they've got a bridge going, which is obviously good for a new network. They've got data storage. They've got, let's see, connect your Dart and Flutter applications. So they've got like off-chain integrations, decentralized data oracle. And so
Hmm.
that's pretty cool, but still like not a whole lot happening, right? And so those glamour metrics that you saw on the front page, maybe, maybe not as accurate as what they might lead on to believe. But yeah, what's the token about, right? What does a token do?
Yeah, that's a good question. Not just that, but why? How is this decentralized, and what is the primary driver to building this ecosystem? Is it even an EVM compatible network? I haven't seen what coding language they're using yet. Maybe I missed it, or what they're
Hmm.
building on. So I don't know how compatible this is, and what they're using to bridge between networks to get access to that liquidity as well.
Should we dive into the white paper and see if we could figure it out?
Yeah, we'll probably run out of time, but I guess that's the point. We only have 10 short minutes.
Whoa. Okay, that just downloaded a file to my computer, and I don't like that. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that maybe and see if maybe I can, if it's a PDF, I can upload it to Google Drive like virus scan. So give me a second. Be right back. Okay, we're back. Yeah, just for anyone that's unaware, I mean, it's never a good idea to download files from websites on the internet unless you really know what they are. I think there's been some controversy in the past couple of years about like malicious code being fit into PDFs that can execute files when you open them, and maybe even drain your wallets. So, Masa, I recommend you change that. I don't know if that's what you're doing, but I quickly deleted it from my computer after uploading it into Google Drive. I didn't even open it, but I've got it here in Google Drive. And so Swipe Paper looks pretty cool.
Why the
You think
branding
no?
here is way better than the website. I don't understand why they don't use this branding. It's so much cleaner and more interesting and elegant.
um, I do have to say, like, I'm seeing a lot of type that looks like it was maybe created on Chat GPT. Like very, very few companies or people's or writers will actually write like this. I don't know if that's the case, but they've got comparison, decentralization, scale, reactive backend, autonomous, etc. And so I wonder. Oh, there goes the 10 minutes. We didn't get to finish. But you know what? We got potentially hacked there. So let's go ahead and see if we could figure out what the token's about. Take a little extra time.
Tokenomics.
Tokenomics, page 35. And so again, what we want to try and understand is like what is the use case for the token? And is it something that we would consider investing in? So um interesting. They've got like some justification for, I guess, a launch here. Unfairly distributed voting, price manipulation, security compromises. And so they're addressing those by giving less tokens to the founders, less tokens for insiders, more tokens for future builders and stakers. But they sold a lot of tokens to pre-sale investors, though, right?
It says Massa Labs and founders get 12% of total supply, no more than that. So that's, I mean, I like that at least. I remember seeing a chart going around where it compared all the major layer ones like Solana and Ethereum, and it showed how dominated those token supplies were by VCs, at least early on, if not still. So I appreciate that they're trying to go more decentralized and limit that, but a lot of those tokens are going to early investors still, so we don't know what that number is.
Mm. So it looks like so Massa apparently is a proof of stake blockchain, and so obviously you have staking rewards. Staking being part of the consensus mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Launch staking, I think they're pursuing TVL, but that's pretty much it. And so there's not a whole lot of information that we've seen so far around the consensus mechanism, like the novel technology that they're using to achieve like scalability without sacrificing security and maintaining decentralization. But I'm sure it might be in this document. And so let's go ahead and wrap it up. And before we do, if you guys are enjoying this content, again, make sure you tap that like button, throw us a subscribe. We've got more video content coming out real soon, including some exclusive interviews. So, Carmelo, we didn't get to learn a whole lot about Massa. I know you've got some opinions around potentially like marketing and branding and stuff. What's your take on this, man?
Whew. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit controversial, I think, more than usual. But I like the vision. I like what they're going for. My opinion that there's too many blockchains, but competition is good for any healthy market. So I welcome competition. I don't like major VC pump and dump blockchains that are coming out, and we've seen quite a few. I'm not going to name names. So I'm kind of rooting for these guys. It seems like they're the little guys, so to speak, compared to other networks we've seen out there. I think the marketing is very bad. I think you made a good point with the white paper. I think they have no traction. They need to onboard better investors, like at least one major name, to raise more money because, it's ambitious to start a blockchain. You need more money. I see a lot of companies under raising, some over raising for gaming projects or NFT projects or DeFi protocols, but a lot of under raising for blockchain somehow. And then it is a low valuation too, like you said, for a blockchain. So the controversial thing is, I think this will do poorly at launch. I wouldn't invest in it based off what I've seen, but fortune favors the bold. So I would probably pick up a bag after it crashes after launch, maybe just a moon bag.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, really, I like betting. I think that's an interesting bet, at least. If it goes to nothing, then so be it. But it could do well. You're basically rooting for them to perform a turnaround and kind of overcome the fact that they didn't know how to market in the beginning. They didn't know what to do. I mean, they have some good partners, some good backers. Like Republic is a decent launchpad. It's pretty well known. Downmaker as well. People are always excited to pull for blockchains. Layer ones provide usually the best return on interest for investors. One of the best for any niche. Not that it's a niche. So yeah, I think that would be how I would play this. I wouldn't invest as a VC. or an angel or a private investor. The terms are crazy, so they need some help on the token economy front too. But the team seems, from what I've seen, honest, and like they actually want to create a decentralized blockchain. I would change the marketing though. Like, there's no way you're solving the trilemma, so stop acting like you're the first to do it or the first to want to do it.
Oof,
And yeah,
man.
so thumb sideways, I guess. That's my first thumb sideways in a while.
Goodness, that was harsh, but I mean, I think you made some valid points. I First of all, I'm turned off by the PDF download. Maybe my computer is compromised now. Shame on you, Massa. I would recommend fixing that immediately. You're going to scare off a lot of people. Um, but I think I agree in the sense of this is not something I would invest in right now. I think if you look at layer ones and how well they might do, it really depends on the traction and the marketing footprint. And it looks like they have very little traction so far. The branding and a lot of the context that's shown in the website and in the white paper makes me feel like it's a little bit more half-assed than a lot of projects coming to market. It does have a low valuation. The backers, I don't recognize a lot of them, so it looks kind of like maybe a Wish.com scalability blockchain. But I wanna dive deeper into the tech in the white paper, at least what they've outlined in the consensus mechanism, what they've outlined in the architecture, and see if this is something that's solving a real problem. Because I agree, and I don't think that it will do well at launch, especially with all of those pre-sale tokens releasing at once. But that does mean when you have a lot of pre-sale tokens releasing on day zero, and the price is more likely to go down, this might be a good bag to pick up if it looks like a viable product in the long term. So it's something that I might consider buying OTC on the market, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, best of luck to Massa and the team. I hope you guys do well. Obviously, there's a few things that you can fix in the short term, but a new blockchain coming to market trying to solve the world's greatest issues is exciting. Whether they can do it or not, we'll see if they can. And that's 10 minutes in the books from your friends at Arcanum Ventures. Thanks for watching. Again, tap that like button, y'all. Subscribe, give us a follow. Follow us in our Telegram community even. We talk about all sorts of fun things, including meme coins, investing, and startup in general. Thanks again. Take it easy and see you next time, y'all. Ciao.